They roll into the start box into turn 4. They come to life in the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series. Dirt Track Bank Heat Race number 1 is underway at East Alabama Motor Speedway. Austin Horton with the early race lead. Clay Knight going to fight on the inside of Carson Ferguson. They are door-to-door for the second spot through turn 3 and 4. Clay Knight on that bottom side to him. Yep, he had the run on the outside, just a little too high there of John Henderson. And around he went and backwards into the out of the ballpark there. It's a slow drop off outside of turn 3 and 4. Second place runners, second on back or double file. Carson chose the outside. Austin comes into the start box and brings the field back to green. They'll work on lap number 2. This time by for Dirt Track Bank Heat Race number 1. Well, Clay Knight's got a hot rod, and he likes the inside. He's pulling hard to the bottom, trying to pull alongside of Carson. Carson bobbles just a little bit, allows Clay to get right there, but that outside still pretty tough. Well, Clay Knight, if he could get around Carson Ferguson, may have something for Austin Horton, as now Ferguson pulls ahead of Knight, and he'll go to work and try to chase down Austin Horton. This East Alabama Motor Speedway, we saw it last night. It'll go through some changes. Already a good-looking racetrack we've got here. They'll come with the cross flags this time by. It'll be halfway down, halfway done. Last night's winner, Carson Ferguson, would love to go to the Jericho Transmissions redraw, as the winner of this heat race will redraw for the top 4 starting positions. All heat race winners redraw for the top 4 starting positions immediately following their heat race. Laps continue to wind down. 5 laps on the board. Austin Horton will see what Carson can do as he tries the top side in turn 1 and 2. Got a good run. Down the back straightaway, he'll stay to the top in turn 3 and 4. Carson Ferguson getting the rubber band wound up. He's got the momentum down the front straightaway. He'll go to the top in turn 1. They're going to be side by side as they come off of turn number 2. Horton sees him there. One car's around in turn number 1 as we've got a battle for the lead, and the yellow flag will fly. Caution flag will fly in turn number 1 as we had a lead change that will not count that time at the bottom of turn 4. He'll fire here this time and work his way off of the corner, and we're back underway. See what Carson does this time. He'll go to the middle of the racetrack. Horton moves up. He said Carson's not going to get me on the outside on this restart. Now right to the top of the racetrack goes Carson Ferguson. As the white flag is in the air, 1 lap to go for Austin Horton. Here comes the battle for the lead. Oh, Ferguson's going to show underneath. Up the racetrack goes Horton. See what he can do in turn 3 or 4. Carson Ferguson's got one last attempt. Off of turn number 4, your race winner of Dirt Track Bank Heat Race number 1 is Austin Horton.
You were able to hold off a hard-charging Carson Ferguson. Tell us about the racetrack and your car.
Racetrack 100 times better than last night. It's more my wheelhouse, keeping it straight a little bit. I'll be glad when it all blows off. I'm just impressed to outrun that 93 right there. He's been a terror all summer. He's got a really good car. We still got some work to do, but we're getting there.
On that outside there, trying to anticipate the start. It's a good start. Green flag is in the air, and Dirt Track Bank Heat Race number 2 is underway. And Owens on the bottom, sliding up in front of Peyton Freeman. Owens will have the early lead down the back straightaway off the racetrack, but brings it back on. Does Dalton Cook will stay green, and Cook falls back to 4th. Now he's going to cross over Sam Seawright and go underneath, and he'll take 3rd going into turn 1. But Sam Seawright says, hey, good buddy, I'm going to try it and take it back. He can't do it off of turn 2. And your top 3 on lap number 1 coming to complete lap number 2 are Jimmy Owens, Peyton Freeman, Dalton Cook, Sam Seawright, Kyle Bryant, and Jason Garver. Field works to turn 1 and 2. This racetrack fast, though not as fast as this point in time last night. You heard Austin Horton talk about this racetrack will blow off and start to slow down, which is going to produce some really good racing here later on tonight. Got a good racetrack, though, for these heat races. Jimmy Owens using that outside, had the right rear up on the cushion, heads down the back straightaway, and he'll see the halfway sign. This time by, we are 4 laps in, 4 laps to go in Dirt Track Bank Heat Race number 2. Owens a winner with the Tour back at Sonoya when we co-sanctioned with the Ultimate Super Late Model Series, the Independent Shootout. Down the back straightaway into turn 3 and 4. Off of turn number 4, 2 laps to go for the O-Show. Jimmy Owens, Peyton Freeman, Dalton Cook, Sam Seawright, Kyle Bryant, and Jason Garber. White flag is in the air. One more lap to go for Jimmy Owens. He's led the entire distance of this one. Again, if you were watching earlier, after hot laps, they pulled the backup car out. He said, I just didn't like the feel of it. He's got to like the feel of this one as he works off of turn 4. Checkered flag is in the air. The Newport Nightmare. Jimmy Owens takes Dirt Track Bank heat race number 2.
Jimmy, you had to unload a backup car here tonight, and it seems pretty good out there. So tell us a little bit about what happened to the primary car and how the backup car feels.
Well, the backup car feels really good. We're not real sure what happened to the primary, but, you know, both cars are super good race cars. Rocket builds a heck of a car, but, you know, Bobby Kohler's put in some good equipment. So, you know, no matter, I feel like both of our cars are really, really good. And we're not sure what happened, but I know we didn't have time to chase down an issue. So we'll get back to the shop and batten down the hatches and see what we can find wrong.
And heat race number 3 is green off of turn number 4. Oh, hold on, Will Harrington. They'll wave the green flag, and they'll race off into turn 1. We'll see if they stay with it. Off of turn 2, and the caution flag will fly. Todd Hutto, race director for the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series, says, gentlemen, I did not like it. Bank heat race 3 is green. As that time, we got a much better start. 8 laps, top 5. Zack Mitchell leads this field into turn 1. Turn 1 and 2, that high side momentum for Joseph Brown. You're living on the edge up there, but if you can make it work, the car is fast when you exit the top of the racetrack. 3 and 4 still a little different, a little harder down at the bottom of turn 3 and a little rougher at the top of turn 4. This time Brown going to go to the top in 1 and 2. He seems to like that line. We'll see if he can get the run into 3. Mitchell's moved up the racetrack. Last time he was on the bottom. This time by, he'll take the top and he'll kill the momentum of Joseph Brown and complete lap number 2 of Dirt Track Bank Heat Race 3. Zack Mitchell of Inner East, South Carolina, if you were with us back earlier in the year, the May race at Swainsboro. Mitchell led a lot of laps. He led 6 laps at the early part of the race, but those 6 laps that he led, he was pulling away and likely going to take the win until contact with a lap car. So he's looking for redemption here as the halfway sign is given that time by to your race leader, Zack Mitchell. Mitchell showed up with the Tour. The first race at Alltech, and on the Friday night practice had a real bad accident that destroyed a race car, so they went home without ever even attempting to qualify on the second day for the $20,000 that Ricky Thornton Jr. won. Don't look now, but Joseph Brown is starting to close in, but if he's going to do it, he's got to do it quickly because the 2 to go sign is being displayed. This time by off of turn number 4, and Brown's going to use that high side momentum. That's where he's gaining on Mitchell. Mitchell's using that middle to the bottom in 1 and 2, and Brown's using that outside, and he's getting a launch into turn 3. You see it there on your screen. Those of you watching huntthefront.tv, you'll see the white flag this time by. We're going to have a race for the lead in turn 1 and 2. Up the racetrack, and over goes Brown. Oh, he overdrove the corner. He'll try to keep it under the throttle. He's hanging on. Zack Mitchell's going to win heat race number 3. Brown's going to rejoin the field in the middle of the back straightaway, and he'll come in and battle for 3rd. Hayden Cowan finishes 2nd. Ryan Crane 3rd, and Joseph Brown goes from 2nd to 4th.
Winner of heat race number 3 brought to you by Dirt Track Bank. And Zach, I'm going to tell you what, there was a lot of action going on behind you, but you had a great car out front. Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, yeah. Kind of didn't know where I needed to be right there. Heck, I ain't never been here, but, you know, Mike was telling me to move up right there at the end, and I don't know how close he was, but I think we got a good hot rod, man. This thing, it's been pretty good. So hopefully we can keep it up front and lead off 80 laps. Take home 10,000.
Joyner and Richie Stevens. Let's see if Richie Stevens can get through turn 1 and 2 a little bit better than he has the last few attempts. Green flag is in the air. Dirt Track Bank heat race number 4 is underway. Joyner going to slide up in front of Stevens, but can't block the momentum. Stevens is door-to-door with Joseph Joyner for the race lead in turn 3. Slide up in front does Joseph Joyner. The crossover from Richie Stevens. Joyner leads lap number 1 of heat race 4. Now Richie Stevens says, you slid me, I'm going to slide you. He'll hook the right rear on the cushion. He'll keep it straight down the back straightaway, and here comes Joyner. Got a good one here in heat race number 4, Slide Job City, as they work off of 4. Crossover from Richie Stevens. That time by, Joyner led the lap, but Stevens is not done yet. He'll pull underneath this time by. The momentum on the outside for Joyner propels him to the race lead in turn 3. This will be the most comfortable run he's had coming through 3 and 4, as he doesn't have Richie Stevens crossing him over for the first time in 3 laps, as the third lap is now scored. It'll be halfway down, halfway done. This time by, Joseph Joyner leads. Richie Stevens is second. Donald McIntosh is third. Josh Putnam fourth. And Pearson Williams is running in the runner-up, or the transfer position, in fifth. He had taken a peek underneath the Putnam. I thought he was going to try to pull alongside, but he thought better of it. Those are your top 5. They're pulling away from Bo Slade. Well, this is a really fast East Alabama Motor Speedway. These heat races have rocked on in a hurry. We saw it last night, a really fast racetrack. If the racetrack's got some character, it's going to slick off here. I think we're going to have a really good racetrack for the feature. 2 laps remaining this time by for the Flying Floridian, who's going to try to fly his way into the Jericho Transmissions redraw. He's leading with a pretty comfortable lead, 1.036 seconds back to Richie Stevens, who is about to have his hands full with D-Mac, Donald McIntosh, but he's going to have 1 lap to get it done, as the white flag will fly for Joyner this time by. McIntosh put some pressure on Richie Stevens coming off of 4, but Stevens is able to pull ahead. He'll slide up through turn 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway for the 6th time this season. He'll go to Jericho Transmission redraw by winning Dirt Track Bank heat race number 4, Joseph Joyner.
You won a bunch of heat races this season. Is tonight the night you put this thing in victory lane for the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Late Model Series?
Lord, I sure hope so. It's been hard to put a whole night together on this deal, and we've won a lot of heat races and been up front qualifying, and just can't feature race. So I hope so. The car feels pretty good there. Old racetrack's wide and slick. Hopefully we can keep the rubber off of it there for the feature and have a good wide slick surface for the race here. But so far so good for us. We'll certainly take it.